I'm Tracy Ann Bailey, and I'm the ballet mistress of the Roswell Dance Theater and the director of the pre-professional company. This is Hannah Carlton, one of our apprentice dancers, and she's going to be our example for hair and makeup today. When doing the hair, there are two types of brushes. There's the rake type brush and there's the bristle brush. The hard bristle brushes usually work the best for all hair, whether it's thin or thick. No matter what your hair type, curly, long, thin, thick, the things that I feel help with everyone is water. Some of you could even start with it slicked completely back with water out of the shower. Gel. I get this gel at the dollar store. Any kind of gel will work. And then of course, hairspray. It does take some practice to get the hair slick, but with these items, you usually can do it pretty easily. So the first thing you want to do is I usually take the rake brush and just start brushing the hair, make sure all the knots are out, and then I take my water bottle, again bought this at the dollar store, and you wet down the hair. Hannah has a lot of hair. It's thick, curly, and long, so it will be quite the challenge. For Tolbert, we like the buns to be at the crown of the head, so you have to kind of take a couple of shots at this because depending on how long and how thick the hair is will depend on where you put that ponytail holder. For her, if I put her ponytail high, her bun will end up being on the top of her head, which is way too high. So we're just going to kind of play with this a little bit. And then I take my hairspray and I start spraying and get rid of all those wispies. You should be able to get the hair up without any kind of clips or bobby pins. You should be able to get all of it, even if you have layers, up and slick without any other pieces and parts. Once the hair starts getting smooth, and again, it takes a couple of tries, especially if you have this much hair, go ahead and put it in a ponytail holder. Ideally, try to pick a ponytail holder close to the color of your hair. Now with her, we may have to do two ponytail holders.
Yeah.
You usually do two, huh, Hannah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, oh my gosh. Okay. So this will be a good challenging one for our example. And again, you just keep spraying. And as you can see, those little bad hairs back here are the ones that usually we don't want to see on the stage. You slick and slick. And then if you come up in closer, you'll see that that's how you get rid of all those wispies. The gel helps too. And now we're just at that point. Next part of the bun is, normally I break it into two pieces if you have thinner hair, but since Hannah's hair is so thick, I'm going to break it into three. I take the piece and I twist it as tight as it will be, like this. Now the pins you use are your choice. I like both the pins, both of these types of pins, but really you've got to use what works best for you. These tend to fly out of some people's hair, especially if they have thinner hair. I don't think she'll have a problem. So once you get that twisted, what I do is I start pinning all the way, and you might want to get a little closer on this part. I start pinning up against the hair tie. And as you do that, it makes the bun stay in better than just pinning it in one big chunk. And you just bring it around, and you just keep pinning in that little. And you could also do this as a braid. You could do 2 braids or 3 braids, depending again on how thick the hair is. So that first bun is as big as some people's regular bun. Okay, then you take the next one and you do the same thing. You twist it. And then you start around that one. And you start pinning. And since I'm doing this for a video, I'm going very fast, but you could take a lot more time to make sure that the placement of the bun is in the correct spot. I might be a little low, but it makes for this really pretty little bun when you keep going around. Plus the bun stays in much better because of the fact that you've done it in pieces instead of one big chunk. Now for her, here's our final piece. Same thing, go here, twist, and you're pinning all the way around as you go. Pinning, Oops, I accidentally grabbed that hairnet. Pinning. You're gonna love your bun is looking pretty nice here. Now she has the extreme hair, and I picked the extreme hair on purpose because a lot of times what I hear is, oh, my hair won't go into a bun. If we can get Hannah's hair into a bun, we can get anyone's hair into a bun. Okay, and then you see it looks sort of like a hot cross bun, little. And then the last part of that is you take your hairnet, and again, you want it to match your hair. Depending on how big your hairnet is, you could do one and twist it, and another. And of course, you want to put a few pins on that as well, so that the hairnet doesn't come off. And you just go in. So this method takes far fewer bobby pins. When you try to just pin one big bun of hair, it takes 1,000 bobby pins and it never stays. And then of course, if you have any loose hairs, which we just have a few, you reapply, and there you have it. So Hannah, why don't you stand up and turn around as well so you can see the slick hair. And starting with the makeup for stage, we are going to do the makeup required for open school, starting with foundation. Now, a lot of people will use maybe a little bit of cover-up to use for blemishes or scars. That's fine, it's not necessary. The foundation you use is up to you. Some people prefer a powder foundation, but what it does is it basically evens out the skin. So we're going to start with that and just cover the whole face. You really want to pick something that isn't going to make your skin darker. It should be the same color as the skin. Definitely not darker because we don't want a line. And you just keep going. Am I doing that right?
Yeah.
Close the lips. And since Hannah has such good skin, we really don't need a lot, which is probably going to be the case for most people. It's just to get one even color. And again, for the younger kids, this is probably a little bit optional. I don't think it's necessary if their skin tone is even, but it does help to have a little color on your face. Next we have blush. Blush, again, is totally up to you. It's something that's going to go on the apples of the cheeks and give them some color so that they don't look so washed out under the lights. Really, the makeup should look a lot harsher up close because you're not looking at them up close, you're looking at them under stage lights from far away. So just a little bit of pink, and I even put a little bit in the hairline just to sort of frame the face. But that's it. Don't make it too streaky. And I like to start at the apples. And then if you wanted to, it's not necessary, but if you wanted to, you can also add a contour, like a darker shade, and just sort of cut through there to make it a little sharper, but that's not a must. That's not a have to. And with that, you could also add a little bit just to show, once you put foundation on, sometimes it makes the neck and chin blend in. So sometimes I just put a little bit there. But basically, it's a lot more blush than you would wear out on the street, obviously. The RDT makeup that we supply is this for the eyeshadow. I recommend the lightest color for all over, and then one of the darker browns for the center crease, which I'm about to demonstrate with the same exact makeup. If your skin is darker and the browns are not going to show up, then you could also do the contrast with something like this purple. The first thing I like to do is start with an all-over color. So here's our light color. Close the eyes. This goes from the corner, right underneath the eyebrow, all the way down to the eyelashes, and just sweeps slightly out. And sometimes you have to do a couple of layers to get it on just dark enough, but that's basically all you are doing. You want to cover all the way from the nose, under the eyebrow, all of that. Once you have that covered, then you take the darker color and it goes in the crease. So you just start and you just sweep it in the crease and it follows the line, and you always want to sweep slightly up, never down. When they open their eyes, you shouldn't have a line going down. The idea of this darker color is to make the eyes look bigger and wider on the stage. So you don't want to go this way, you always want to sweep up. And it can swoop a little bit out. It doesn't have to be way out, but it can swoop out a little bit. Okay, close your eyes. So eyebrows are really important because without eyebrows it's really hard to see expression. So I'm a big stickler on the eyebrows being dark enough. However, we don't want them so dark that they look like big unibrows, so you have to be really careful. I'm fine with using a pencil. I actually use a dark eyeshadow with a skinny brush, and basically all you're doing is you go right again from the center and you just sort of sweep that brush through and follow the natural line and then maybe slightly up. But don't color in the whole eyebrow, especially if they have thick eyebrows. Now again, up close, you might think that's way too much, but from the stage, their eyes start to disappear. So just like that. Next we have an eyeliner. I do love the new eyeliners that are out there in the pencils that have the gels because they go on similar to liquid eyeliner, which liquid is my absolute favorite, but I know trying to put liquid eyeliner on, you know, an 8-year-old might be a chore. So if you are putting it on a younger child, I suggest the pencils with the gel. If you think you can handle doing the liquid, then that's great too. So close the eyes. I start from the corner right up against the lashes, and just don't have to even push that hard with the gel. You just basically go and then just right out to there. And you do the same thing on this side. From the center, follow that lash line. Again, this is just like the eyeshadow. We don't want the line to go down because then they look sad. We want the line to go up. Open up. There's your top line. Then look up. Bottom line does not have to be right up against the lashes. Just go right there and right there. Now, I like these because when you make a mistake, look up again, which I did right there, you can kind of fix your mistake really easily. Oops, or spread more makeup everywhere. And just make sure you do. And if you make a little mistake like that, you can always take the makeup you just used and then look up and just sort of reapply, since I just did a little boo-boo. Okay, that's your liner. The next step is mascara. Your choice again. Black is best for all of the different skin colors because I think that even with a blonde that makes the lashes look a lot bigger on the stage. I believe you should apply it top and bottom. Since Hannah's old enough, she can put on her own mascara, which in some cases really makes life easier. Last is the lipstick, which is also provided in the kits that RTT have up at the front desk. It's a pencil, but it's sort of a gel, and so it has the lip liner and the lipstick is all in one. Hold on. Make sure I make it on your lips. So as you're shaping the lips, you just draw that line and color it in. Rub together just a little bit. And then to set the color so that it doesn't get on the costumes, they just suggest a little bit of powder because it's very creamy and the kids tend to get it on their costumes. But you see, even with the powder on top, it still keeps the color going. You don't lose the color. So the only addition for company is we basically do the same exact makeup. The only difference is that we add lashes and definitely want the liquid eyeliner. So you take your lashes, and there's one side of the lash that's a little bit shorter on the corner. That's gonna go on the inner part. You take your glue, and you hope that you don't do that, and you want the glue to literally just go on that very tip edge. The smaller corner is gonna go, this will be her right eye. So as you apply, close the eyes. You might wanna come in close for this. You go right up on those lashes, and it's just the tip that touches the skin. You don't wanna lay the lash flat, and you just take your time and hold it and push until every part of the lash is pushed down and glued to the actual skin. It should be right up against the natural lash line. Next, you want to start with your liquid liner. It will go right over top the lashes. So using a pencil under like we did in the last section actually is great, because now we're going to go over the lash line. I prefer the pens that are shaped like this. Close the eyes. So you go again right over the actual lashes and a little bit above, not a lot, and you continue that line straight out and again up. Nothing goes down, and you get that little wing. Don't need to go crazy with the wings. They don't have to go way out to your hairline. Keep your eye closed. Next is the bottom line. Look up. Same thing you did for the pencil, but it's going to be a lot more striking when you have it in liquid because it's a lot darker. Keep looking up. So that is the basic stage makeup for Roswell Dance Theater for the open school, and the last part of that is for the company. Hopefully that helps you out.